Hello there, you're now with me, Handy Gui, and welcome to your 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Now let's dive into the topics for today. Sarawak will engage with Norway in an earnest effort toward the successful formation and management of its own sovereign wealth fund. Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said Norway's government pension fund Global was formed to ensure responsible and long-term management of revenue from Norway's oil and gas resources. It was managed by the NORWAY'S Bank Investment Management.
He said the fund received its first injection of the oil money for 2 billion kroner from Norway's government in 1996, and it reported a total value worth of $1.34 trillion in 2021, with all investment in equities and real estate outside the country. Abang Johari said this in his return address when meeting with Norway's ministry and NORWAY'S Bank Investment Management officials at the bank's headquarters in Oslo, Norway, on Thursday. The Premier's two-day visit to Norway was part of his week-long itinerary to Europe that saw him being given the honor to deliver a keynote address at the World Hydrogen 2022 Summit and Exhibition in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, earlier in the week. Given the many parallels between Sarawak and Norway, Abang Johari said Sarawak was particularly interested to learn from Norway, despite many other similar funds around the world. Furthermore, Norway has the largest global sovereign fund, renowned for good governance practices with clear policies in fund management. Sarawak, he said, has been a significant producer of oil and gas since 1910, however, had only recently experienced a significant increase in its revenue from the source. But it is also expected this will be a temporary increase that will last for around 25 years, as Sarawak is moving away from dependency on fossil fuels. In addition, he said the move to set up a sovereign wealth fund for the benefit of Sarawak's future generations was also part of his party, the state ruling coalition's manifesto in the 12th Sarawak election last year.
The Sarawak Agriculture Modernization and Regional Development Ministry is in the midst of a discussion with a company from Singapore on the latest interest in investing in the state's agriculture sector. While declining to disclose details on the company, Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom said the company's involvement would facilitate the ministry in its mission to take the state's agriculture sector into agribusiness.
Right now I'm talking with the Singaporean counterpart that they are going to invest here. They will impose their own quality and so on. They become the off-taker. So our farmers will be able to learn from them.
Rundi said currently Sarawak's food self-sufficiency level is at about 38%, adding that the ministry will continue to look into ways to raise the percentage to up to 60% by 2030, including modernizing agriculture activities.
Now, investigations are underway after pranksters filled the Hornbill fountain at Kuching waterfront with detergent on Thursday. The Kuching Police District Headquarters IPD believe that a packet of detergent powder was dumped into the fountain water to create the bubbles.
Kuching District Police Chief ACP Ashman Bajah, when contacted by TVS, confirmed the case. He said the police received a report regarding the incident at around 9:15 a.m. on Friday, May 13. The case will be carried out under Section 427 of the Penal Code. Previously, a similar incident occurred at the same place after the fountain was believed to have been poured with detergent powder by an irresponsible individual.
AirAsia Berhad will provide refunds to passengers who are eligible without any issues. Minister of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, Dr. Sri Alexander Nantalinggi, said the airline company also agreed to provide cooperation on consumer issues, and his ministry will continue to conduct business engagements from time to time.
Nanta highlighted that among the mitigation efforts taken by AirAsia after numerous customer complaints is to add more aircraft which is currently at 40 capacities. He said that the effort would be in stages to meet passenger demand by July. In addition, he said this included addressing customer complaints through 4 AirAsia channels.
There were many major announcements at the annual Google's Developer Conference 2022, much to the delight of tech communities around the globe, including those in Sarawak. During his keynote address, Google Chief Executive Sundar Pichai showed IBAN as among the languages to be included in Google Translate.
On a slide that accompanied Pichai's presentation on the search engine's soon-to-be enhanced language tool, there was a group of over 40 languages to be made available for real-time translation in future, including Jaku Iban. Pichai later announced that 24 new languages had been added to Google Translate, including the first indigenous language of the Americas. He said with advances in machine learning, Google had developed a monolingual approach where the model would learn to translate a new language without ever seeing a direct translation of it. However, the inclusion of Jaku Iban among the languages displayed on screen during Pichai's speech hinted that it would be only a matter of time before the real-time online translation of the Iban language could be done with just one click.
Welcome back. Now, Youth and Sports Minister Dr. Sri Ahmad Faizal Azumu called on Malaysians to continue to support our national athletes in their mission to meet the 36 gold medals target in the Hanoi SEA Games in Vietnam. The biennial sports being held from May 12 to 23rd have seen great achievements and high fighting spirit.
Meanwhile, the 31st SEA Games, with the theme for a stronger Southeast Asia, officially opened its curtains in Hanoi on Thursday. Malaysia is targeting 36 gold, 35 silver, and 75 bronze, which is said to be very low compared to the number of athletes sent to Hanoi, while more than half of the sports competed are Olympic events. On Malaysia playing host for the 2027 SEA Games, Ahmad Faizal said the matter would be discussed with the Malaysian Olympic Council to ensure a smooth organization of the event. He said Malaysia, which had been given the responsibility to host the Games 6 times, had not made any decision on its selection host of the 34th edition of the SEA Games. Malaysia had previously hosted the SEA Games in 1965, 1971, 1977, 1989, 2001, and 2017.
Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin is determined to eradicate toxic work culture in the hospitals of the Health of Ministry MOH. Describing the work environment in the past and present as different, Khairi wants mutual respect and support among colleagues to be created.
He also said that he had visited and heard about the experience of housemen in Selayang Hospital before they make their rounds this morning, apart from uploading several pictures of his meeting with them. On April 17, a 25-year-old male houseman was believed to have fallen from his residential unit in a building near Penang Hospital. On Thursday, Khairi announced that the MOH Integrity Unit had been ordered to investigate allegations of bullying in hospitals, and a special independent task force has also been set up. Khairi said the list of members of the task force to investigate bullying, as well as its term of reference, would be announced today.
The debate between PKR President Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim and former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Razak on Sapura Energy Berhad SEB and issues related to the country's future went smoothly last night. About 400 people, including political leaders, corporate figures, economic experts, academicians, university students and supporters of both leaders attended the debate, which started at 9 p.m. at Auditorium Tunku Abdul Rahman, Malaysia Tourism Centre, Kuala Lumpur.
The debate comprised 3 segments, with the first part touching on problems faced by the oil and gas company and whether it should be rescued or not. The second part was about Malaysia's future, encompassing aspects of the economy, politics and governance, and the country's direction, while the third part was reserved for a question and answer session. To ensure there was no untoward incidents, tight security checks were imposed on those entering the debate hall.
Channel News Asia has apologized for airing the wrong national flags during the SEA Games ranking in the medal tally on Thursday morning. In a Facebook post on Thursday, the news agency said the names of the countries participating in the SEA Games and their respective national flags were mismatched.
The error first appeared in CNA's Asia First segment at about 7:50 a.m. on Thursday, 12th of May. Viewers watching the morning news spotted mismatched national flags and countries' names on the SEA Games 2021 medal tally table. Malaysia's national flag erroneously represented Singapore, and the Philippines flag appeared next to Vietnam on the table. Shortly after the news aired, CNA likely noticed the error and quickly rectified it. They have since corrected the error for the upcoming SEA Games updates. This time, the updates includes an on-air apology. They also apologized to the viewers, expressing their regret for the mistake.
Now wrapping up the 5 p.m. news, Malaysia's wholesale and retail trade sales registered a growth of 3.9% year-on-year in the first quarter of 2022. The increase was attributed to the motor vehicle subsector, which rose 8.8%, followed by retail and wholesale trade, which rose 5.1% and 1.2% respectively. Chief Statistician Datuk Seri Dr. Muhammad Uzair Mahidin said, on a quarter-on-quarter comparison, the volume index increased 0.7%, supported by retail trade, which grew 3.2%. However, motorcycle sales, maintenance and repair decreased by 14.1%. Meanwhile, on a quarterly basis, the volume index of motor vehicles fell 0.9% versus the preceding quarter. The volume index of retail trade climbed 3.2% versus the previous quarter. Meanwhile, in the area of wholesale trade, the volume index recorded a positive growth in the first quarter of 2022 versus a year ago, contributed by agricultural raw materials and live animals, food, beverages and tobacco, household goods and machinery, equipment and supplies. That's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. For more headlines, head to our website at TVSTVMY or follow us on our social media. I'm Hendy Gui. Stay safe and have a pleasant day.